Gatekeeper. My first thought playing Gatekeeper was, wow, look at this Risk of Rain game mixed with Hades. But then as you keep playing, you realize, this isn't like Hades. Where's the story? I do see Risk of Rain influence, but Hades just disappeared. Gatekeeper is a shooter, indie, role-playing, fighting adventure game, according to Google. But like always, Google, where is the one you're missing? Where's roguelike? That's probably the biggest genre that this game is. Not to mention it's the first sentence of the Steam page description. AI 100% could have parsed that for you, Google. Gatekeeper was developed by Gravity Lagoon and published by Hype Train Digital. The story is this. The Heart of Time has been stolen by Chaos's most powerful minions. You must follow its trail, reach the throne room, and face Chaos in battle. But the path won't be easy. Before the final showdown, you'll have to defeat Chaos's elite sirens and the endless legions under their command. Now, if that entire thing sounds like I read it, I did, from the Steam page. This story is basically nothing. The game's not targeting people who like a good story. Honestly, no one cares about this story. Story kind of sucks. You don't play this game for the story. You play this game to clear room and room of enemies with these crazy particle effects and blow up everything in your path. Again, think Risk of Rain. What's the story in Risk of Rain? And here are the menu settings. You're going to want to turn on auto sprint, turn off camera shake, and play with the edge blur and bloom effects in the video menu. Gatekeeper does have controller support, and the only platform you can play Gatekeeper on is really Windows. I have not seen anything online mentioning if the game will get a console release. Gatekeeper has a distinct and appealing sci-fi art style with vibrant colors. Did I mention in the menu setting that you should mess with the bloom? It also has clear enemy designs, and it sounds excellent. Just listen to these sound effects for weapons and explosions. Another kudos on sound is the music. The style is this electronic, synth-heavy, bass-heavy, sci-fi action score type of music, but it fits this game extremely well. Here's an example. One thing that shocked me about the graphics is that the graphic requirements for this game are like nothing for a game of this magnitude. An i5-9100 or a 1060 GTX, you can basically play this game on anything. And that also means that this game is Steam Deck approved. The game flow of Gatekeeper is pretty simple. You begin a run, you pick a character, you pick a difficulty, you pick your mode, and you can spend your premium currency at the Emporium. We'll get more into that later. Once you're ready, you're going to click landing. Each run consists of a series of rooms on different planets, each with different layouts and objectives. Throughout the levels, you'll find little shrines where you can buy buffs from. At the end of each level, you'll have a boss, aka a siren, to kill. Once you've killed the siren, you're going to make your way to town, re-gear up, and out you go again. Once you've done this enough times, you'll have completed a loop. At the end of a loop, you'll be able to fight the end boss Chaos, quit your game, or go on to another loop and do it all over again. So what are the mechanics in Gatekeeper? Well, you can move with WASD. You run faster when you're not attacking. You can hold left shift to sprint if you don't have auto sprint enabled in the menu settings. You have a left mouse button attack, it's your primary attack. You have a right mouse button attack. This is going to be your secondary attack. Space is usually going to be your movement ability. This Gatekeeper's ability is Trace, leaves a trace to return to when the skill is reused. And in this example, Trace teleported me across the map. Here's my reaction. And wow, Trace stayed for a long time. I forgot that I had Trace still up. You also have a special heavy ability. That's going to be your F key. In the top left, you're going to have a mini map. The little red arrows are where the enemies are. The circles on the mini map are going to be where power-ups are, where you can buy artifacts. In the bottom right, you have your currency. During a run, you're going to see these obelisks. If you activate one, you can buy an artifact. Note, the artifacts that you buy in the runs are going to be cheaper than the artifacts that you can buy in town. So sometimes it's not a great idea to go waste all your money in town because you can get cheaper artifacts outside. You'll also see larger obelisks. These usually give you two choices and will also give you a choice of an artifact that's usually a higher tier. On the bottom left, you have your health. Underneath your health, you have your shield. Sometimes you can find containers. I've actually never found a container before. You can shoot these little blue resource pods and they'll give you some more resource. Again, the goal of every map is to do the objective. You're going to find the objective first, and then once you complete it, you're going to spawn the siren. Very large blue bottom bar on the screen is your experience. Once you fill that out, you will unlock a level called an evolution. And evolutions are usually, think of it as a passive point towards one of your base stats. So in this case, I got health regeneration, attack speed, or base health. Once you get enough evolutions, you'll be able to unlock a skill upgrade. One really cool thing, even though I can't get up there, is in certain maps, you will find secrets. If you look at the north part of my screen, you'll see that there's a thing blowing up. I've never unlocked that. I don't know what that is, but I found hidden artifacts. I found hidden characters. There are definitely secrets for you to find in maps. So explore. It's worth running around the map to see what's on there. If you hit escape during a run, you can do a position reset. You can see your character, you can see your artifacts, you can do your settings, you can exit the game. But really the tab that you want is the character tab. It's going to give you all of your stats. It's going to give you your skill evolutions. It's going to show you all the achievements that you have here as well. Sometimes the artifacts tab is useful, but the character tab is where you spend most of your time on. So yeah, once you've completed the objective, the siren will spawn and allow you to activate it. Once you complete a map, you can activate the aquarium and you're going to head off to town. All right, town's pretty cool. You're going to find resource pods that you can break just to earn a little bit extra resources. Town also gives you access to the emporium. The emporium is a place where you can unlock more artifacts to use for your runs. How you unlock an artifact is by using your Omni Stones. If I want Blitzkrieg here, I just click on it. On the right side, you can see I could buy this Blitzkrieg Renstone for 5 Omni Stones. And now this will be able to roll in my run. Another cool thing the emporium can do is, let's say that you really know that, hey, I want to go for this blue pill build, but I really do not need the protocol 1.0. Well, on this right side, you actually have slots that you can exclude artifacts in. The more artifacts you unlock, the more slots you get. This also costs Omni Stones. The emporium is a really good place for you to really believe that you have some type of control of RNG. You can control which artifact groups you unlock, and then over on the right side, you can exclude certain ones that you don't want to see in your run. That's the TLDR. You have a little training area here where you can see your DPS. In the middle, you're going to have a random array of artifacts that you can purchase. These are usually much more expensive than in the run, like I said earlier. So if you don't need any, save your resources for the run. On the left side here, you're going to have the forge. Forge is really cool. The forge is basically artifact recycling. If you recycle enough artifacts, you can unlock the artifact that is here. You can view your entire run statistics up here in the top left. You have the Shrine of Triads in town. This is what you're going to use to unlock the triad when you have all 3 artifacts. In the back, you have this chest where you're going to sacrifice Omni Stones to open. It's one of those few cases where I wish I could spoil it for you, but I can't. Up here, you're going to have the Obelisk of Curse. This is going to allow you to unlock a cursed artifact. Cursed artifacts have a positive and a negative for all you daring individuals out there. Once you're done with town, you're going to head back out and continue. Oh, I forgot. Characters also have a little passive here, so the tech hunter can locate artifact caches. That's probably why I've never seen a container, because I've never played the tech character yet. Speaking of curses, if you play the mediator, you can see this curse passive. Some properties of the cursed artifacts become more beneficial for mediator. Pretty cool. Inside the database, you can see all your artifacts that you have unlocked. You can see all the monsters, their base health, base damage. You can also see what they do. So this is the Prince Siren boss. You can see all the attacks that he has. In the Gatekeepers tab, you can check out all the characters that you've unlocked. And if you scroll down on a character, you can hover over the skills to see what they all do. And if you hover over the little tiny skill points, you can also see how these upgrade the skills above. Gatekeeper also has a menu to tell you what status effects are in the game. All right, let's talk multiplayer. So if you want to play with your friends, you can host a private game, and then you can invite your friends in through Steam or through a code. However, if you have no friends and you want to play a public game, you can attempt to connect to a group. This has never worked for me, so honestly, don't use this feature. A better way to connect to a group is to click join and see if anyone actually has a game going on. As you can see, there's not many rooms. Honestly, this is the most rooms I have seen, period. So really, if you are looking to play Gatekeeper with a bunch of randoms, this game might not be the game to do that in. Well, just to show you, my very first lobby in multiplayer is not even starting the game. Let's try a different one. This is a good time to tell you that Gatekeeper has no pay to win elements and has one cosmetic, which is the Omni skin down here. Alright, you're probably just better off getting friends to play this game. Alright, let's talk enemy variety. So in Gatekeeper, you're going to have 3 types of enemies. You're going to have your regular trash mobs. And you can tell they're trash mobs because on the right side, the developers put no information about them. If you keep going through this list, you'll end up at your first character that has skills. This enemy is called a Rampant. This enemy is going to be much stronger than the trash mobs, and you got to be a little careful with them. Then you have your Siren of the map. So you can see here, base, Rampant, Siren. There's one enemy that I've not killed in this game. Could be crazy. I don't know honestly what he is. Again, another secret for me to find out because this game is full of secrets, and that's actually a really good thing about this game. And then you have one last enemy type, Chaos, which is the main story boss. He gets the type of creator. All right, so let's talk cool, not cool for Gatekeeper. Some of the cool aspects is this game is smooth. The devs did a pretty good job on implementation. I haven't found too many bugs. The gameplay feels smooth. The controls are responsive. And overall, I had a really good time playing the game. Let's talk about the not cool. The biggest not cool for me in Gatekeeper is that I did most of the content in this game in 2 runs. Yes, I haven't unlocked most of the artifacts. Yes, I haven't seen all the triads. I haven't experimented with as many builds as you can, but I really don't feel the need to do that because in my first 2 runs, I went through most of the content that you can go through. I mean, look, my monsters tab is literally basically complete minus 1 enemy, and I have every single Gatekeeper besides 1. So in 2 runs, I have played through 2 characters completely with fun builds. I have fought every single monster. To me, that's a negative. Like, if I'm thinking Binding of Isaac or Risk of Rain or Hades, these games just keep unlocking stuff and keep bringing more content in. And this game kind of lacks in that department, and I think that really hurts it. Had this game been released much before those games, I think this game would have been super popular. Sadly, I think this game falls victim to releasing after the hype of all those other games. Because if I want to play a roguelike game that keeps bringing content, this isn't the game I'm going to pick up. This was really cool as a 1-time, 2-time, for maybe a week-time game, and I'm hoping that they do more updates and they add more maps and they add more content, more bosses, more secrets. And because of all that, on our patented 0 to 1 scale, I have to give Gatekeeper a 0.62 out of 1. That might be slightly disappointing to some. And honestly, if I was a developer of this game, I would be slightly disappointed to hear that because the dev work is amazing. I think the game released after other games that do this genre better, and the amount of content in the game I think really hurts its replayability. If you guys like these no bullshit reviews, please like, share, and subscribe. We really appreciate it. And always, as fall approaches, if you need to overseed your grass, now is the time to do so. Take care. See you guys in the next one.